Imagine owning something so rare and expensive that not even the richest billionaires in the world could afford it. Something that only exists in legends, private collections, or secret labs. The world's most extreme luxury items, from materials you've never heard of to masterpieces worth billions. These are the things that money alone cannot easily buy. Each one has a story, and together they take us on a journey through science, history, art, and the outer limits of human wealth. 1. Tritium, the glow of $1 billion. Our journey starts with something that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi movie, a glowing vial of tritium gas. But this isn't a crystal you can hold in your hand. It's a radioactive element, and it is one of the most expensive and difficult materials on Earth to produce. To create just a few grams of pure tritium, you need a nuclear reactor. The cost runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars. Why so expensive? Because tritium is incredibly unstable. It decays rapidly, which means it's constantly vanishing, and it's so dangerous to handle that only a handful of high-security labs on the planet are even allowed to touch it. You might have seen tritium without even knowing it. Those tiny glass vials inside high-end watch dials or emergency exit signs, that's tritium at work. When the gas is trapped in a glass tube coated with phosphor, it creates an eerie, self-powered glow that never needs batteries and can last for decades. To own a significant amount of this material, you wouldn't just need a billionaire's bank account. You would need government-level security clearance. Holding a vial of tritium isn't just holding a gas. It's holding a piece of future technology that most of us will never get to see. 2. Meteorite jewelry. From earthbound science, we now look to the stars. Our next treasure is literally out-of-this-world jewelry made from ancient meteorites. While diamonds may be common in luxury circles, meteorites offer something far more unique, a piece of cosmic history you can wear on your finger. The most sought after are iron meteorites like Gibeon and Moniona Lusta. When cut and etched, they reveal stunning geometric patterns called Wittmann-Steffen patterns designs that cannot be recreated on Earth because they formed over millions of years in space. A finished piece of meteorite jewelry can cost anywhere from $400 for a simple titanium setting to over $2,000 for gold-mounted designs. Rare lunar or Martian specimens can soar past $2,000 per gram. The most expensive meteorite necklace ever sold was a strand of moon meteorite that went for $4,200 per gram at auction. But for collectors, the price tag isn't really the point. What makes these gems priceless is their age. Many meteorites are older than Earth itself. Some formed 4.56 billion years ago, about 20 million years before our planet even existed. Imagine wearing a gem that has traveled millions of miles through space and carries the history of our solar system. While you can find meteorite jewelry from reputable dealers online, the rarest specimens are usually reserved for exclusive private auctions. This is fashion with a story that's truly out of this world. 3. The Arctic property that governments don't want you to own. Now imagine owning a piece of land the size of Manhattan, frozen, remote, and sitting strategically between Norway and the North Pole. In 2024, exactly that became possible when the last private property in Norway's Svalbard archipelago hit the market for $323 million. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. This isn't just about money, it's about geopolitics, national security, and a government that stepped in to block the sale. The property is called Sørfagerfjord. It spans 60 square kilometers of untouched Arctic wilderness mountains, fjords, glaciers, and 3 miles of coastline. From April to August, it bathes in constant sunshine. From October to February, it's plunged into total darkness. But don't imagine luxury lodges or helipads. Under Norwegian law, this land is a protected national park. You cannot build on it, you cannot develop it. What you're buying is pure wilderness and the strategic foothold that comes with it. When the property went up for sale, the sellers made clear they would accept bids from anyone, controversial or not. Chinese buyers reportedly showed interest. Russian state-owned companies already have a presence in Svalbard. So in July 2024, Norway did something unprecedented. Using national security powers never before invoked, they blocked the sale entirely, requiring government approval for any transaction. The government even made their own offer, just $1.9 million. It was rejected. Today, this slice of the Arctic sits in limbo, for sale, but not really for sale. It's a reminder that in the high Arctic, owning land isn't just about wealth, it's about power, politics, and who gets a foothold in one of the world's last frontiers. 4. Antimatter, the 62 trillion substance. Now we venture into the realm of pure physics. What if I told you there's a substance so valuable that 1 gram costs more than the combined wealth of most continents? A substance so powerful that it could power a city for weeks, or in the wrong circumstances, erase it entirely. This isn't science fiction. This is antimatter, the most expensive material ever created by human hands. Here's the number: $62 trillion per gram. With that much money, you could buy every super yacht, every private island, and every mansion on the planet and still have enough left to fund your own space program. What makes antimatter so absurdly expensive is that we have to build it atom by atom using the most advanced machines on Earth. Antimatter is produced in particle accelerators like CERN's Large Hadron Collider, where scientists smash particles together at near the speed of light. For a fleeting moment, antimatter appears and then it wants to vanish. Because the moment antimatter touches ordinary matter, they annihilate each other in a burst of pure energy. Storing it is a nightmare. Antimatter cannot be kept in any normal container. It would instantly react with the walls. Instead, scientists use devices called penning traps, which use magnetic fields to levitate antimatter in a complete vacuum. In 2011, CERN stored antimatter for just over 16 minutes. The energy potential is staggering. When 1 gram of antimatter meets 1 gram of matter, the release is 43 kilotons of TNT, roughly 3 times the power of the Hiroshima bomb. That same energy could power an entire country for nearly 2 weeks. But here's the catch: humanity has never produced even close to a gram. Since 1995, the total antimatter ever created by all the world's laboratories amounts to about 10 nanograms. That is 0.000000001 grams. If you gathered every scrap ever made, it wouldn't have enough energy to boil a cup of tea. At our current production rate, creating just 1 gram would take billions of years. That's why no billionaire, not Elon Musk, not Jeff Bezos, could ever buy it. It simply does not exist. So why do we bother? Because antimatter is already saving lives. PET scans. The medical imaging that helps detect cancer use positrons, the antimatter version of electrons, to see inside your body. And NASA dreams of using antimatter to send spacecraft to Mars in just 1 month. For now, antimatter remains the ultimate symbol of human ambition, a substance that exists at the very edge of what's possible. It is not just expensive, it is priceless. 5. The Cullinan Diamond. The largest diamond ever found from the smallest particles, we turn to something massive. Imagine finding a gemstone so huge that it took months just to decide how to cut it. That is the story of the Cullinan diamond. Discovered in South Africa in 1905, it was the largest rough diamond ever found, 3,106 carats. That is about the size of a human fist. It was named after Thomas Cullinan, the owner of the mine. The diamond was so valuable that the Transvaal government bought it and gave it as a gift to King Edward VII of Britain in 1907. But how do you safely transport something this priceless? The British sent a decoy ship with heavy security to distract thieves, while the actual diamond was simply mailed in a plain box. The Cullinan was later cut into 9 major stones and 97 smaller ones. The largest, called the Great Star of Africa, weighs 530 carats and is set in the sovereign's scepter, part of the British crown jewels. The second largest sits in the Imperial State Crown. Experts estimate the Cullinan diamond's value at around $2 billion, but you cannot buy it. The main stones have never been sold on the market. It is not just a diamond, it is a piece of British heritage locked away in the Tower of London for millions to admire. These are the world's most unbelievable, luxurious, and inaccessible items. Who knows, maybe one day you will see some of these in person. But for now, they remain the ultimate symbols of what is truly beyond reach even for billionaires.